Platinum X again with Stranded Deep, and of course as soon as I leave the island it starts to rain, but that's good. Hopefully it'll hit my crops, but I mean I've already watered everything, so that's what I'm talking about. Figures as soon as I leave it would rain. But anyway, this is going to be my 10th island, so there's going to be a trophy coming up is why I'm starting the video here. And basically, the 9 islands I've completed are, when you're looking at the grid, the 25 section grid, the cartographer from the main menu, your starting island's always the one in the middle. So the starting island plus the 2 below it for that 3, and then to the left of the starting island and the 2 below it, so those 3, that's 6. And then the bottom left corner is actually a sea monster. I haven't been there yet. And then the 3 above it are the other 3 that I've done. So I've done those 9 islands. And I believe that top left corner, the bottom and top left corners are both sea monsters. Then there's another sea monster to the right, like not straight above, but above and to the left is another sea monster. And then the aircraft carrier is above me to the right. So there's basically 21 islands and then 3 sea monsters and the aircraft carrier is the 25 sections on the map. So this island here is the one, let's see here, below the center and to the right. This is one of the smaller islands without the stone structure in the middle. This will be pretty quick. Now I've only found one island with, I think they're actually called survivors, even though, well, they're dead. So they're not much of a survivor, considering they're dead. But there's a trophy for finding all survivor belongings, I believe. Yeah, it says scavenge all survivor remnants. So I'm not sure how many islands, I can't remember how many there are. But I know there's one of them that has the volleyball. It's called Wally. And it's kind of something taken from the movie with Tom Hanks. Castaway, I think was the name of the movie, where he's literally, the entire movie is him stranded by himself on an island. In that movie, he does, basically he worked for FedEx, and so when he crashed on the island, there was a bunch of FedEx packages that wound up on the island with him, and so he starts opening all of the packages, seeing what he can use, and one of them was a volleyball. And then he cuts his hand, and when he picks up the volleyball with his hand cut, it creates like a blood smear on the thing that kind of looks like a face. So he named the volleyball Wilson, I think he named it. And he kind of got attached, and the volleyball was like his only friend while he was on that island. So it's kind of crazy. So the volleyball called Wally in this game is one of those survivor remnants that you'll find on one of these islands, and there is a trophy for finding that volleyball. There we go. I hate this. Alright, I'm looking for poison. I don't want to hit any poison things. Alright, now let's go kill us a crab. screw it. I'll kill him before he does a whole lot of damage to me. But again, I'm not sure how many islands have those remnants on them. So far, like I said, I've only found one. Now, I really don't need to go around looking for things on this island because I've got a new camp starter kit right here. Alright, so I've already picked up 4 stones, so it's a total of 6 stones. Let me drop these. Need a total of 6 rocks, 1 lashing, 1 coconut flask, 2 cloths, 1 of those bunches which breaks into 5 fronds. You need all 5 of them. And then I think it's 10 sticks. Okay, the other 2's gonna have to wait. So the first thing we're gonna make is a shelter. Which takes 4 of the fronds. And I'm gonna put the shelter over here. I guess I'll put it right here. I think I can barely see my starting island out there. Because I'm doing a whole playthrough without using a compass, what I try to do is set up my... let's actually do it out here. I try to set up the... I think that's it. Set up my shelter to where it's pointing at my starting island. Helps me keep straight. Alright, so we got the shelter. Now I can go grab those other 2 sticks I need. And this frond. Alright, so now what we're going to do is create the water still. I didn't grab the lashings. Ugh. Forgot about the lashings. Need a total of 3 lashings to completely make camp. You haven't heard me say it in other episodes. When I say I set up, when I get to a new island, I set up camp by establishing a shelter, and then a water still, and then campfire. Now, this is where do it right here. This is where the trophy should pop, because the trophy is for putting a campfire on 10 distinct islands. I mean 10 different islands. So this should pop the trophy. Boom. Is this Ithaca? Build a campfire on 10 distinct islands is how it's worded. But I don't do just a campfire. I put the hang on. Turn it into a fire pit, and then make a meat smoker. Smoked meat does not spoil. That's why I always go with a meat smoker. And then there we have a fully established camp. Well, there's probably another crab running around here on this island. Now, if it's early in the game, I do not recommend using your axe on the small palm trees. I use stone tools for that. An axe is kind of overkill. But once you max out your crafting at level 7, craftsmanship, there's a trick where you can repair your axes using a plank station. So if you just stop when your axe gets to 0.5%, that's one hit away from being destroyed. Hold on to it, build a plank station, and then when you destroy that plank station, it will, once your crafting is maxed out at level 7, that is, it will return 100% of your crafting materials used to make the station, which means that, okay, I'm looking for that other crab, which means your refined axe will drop fully repaired at 100%. So once you can do that, then there's really no reason to waste time with stone tools. Might as well just use your axe, considering you can repair it. Alright, where's the other crab? There's usually 2 of the large crabs. Where is the second one? You can usually go 2 days without resting before you pretty much have to rest. Or I mean, you'll get a message. If you go 2 days without resting, it'll say you need to rest, and then at that point, you can no longer sprint or run. So it does kind of it's kind of a dangerous. And then it probably gives you the status effect tired, which means you will not heal lost health probably, and cannot get the healthy, which it requires healthy status to heal lost health. And I imagine you won't be able to do that if you're tired. So not really worried about resting right now, simply because I'm not tired. And oddly enough, with these dark clouds overhead, it seems to be pretty well lit. Time we have, oh shit, it is actually pretty early though. I guess I should go ahead and rest. You can rest up until 4 a.m. And once your clock gets to 0400, it'll say you have to rest, or you cannot rest during the day. go ahead and grab us a coconut. Just checking my condition of my axe here. All right, let's go ahead and get some. I'm gonna get some more water. Then we'll rest. No, that's still not smoked. Shit, I didn't realize I didn't put any more leaves on this sucker. Alright, so what we can do now is, let me drop that axe again. Alright, so see the little blue icon? That's how you build stacks or piles. Go ahead and stick all these sticks in this pile. That'll free up some inventory there, and the rocks too. Make a rock pile. Alright, now we got room in our inventory. And now that this is finished, save my firewood. Got water right here. Now, let's go rest. Alright, now we got some daylight. Before I end the video, let's go ahead and eat this coconut before it spoils. Water. And let's go see what's on the inside of the island here in the inner section here. I've already got the leaves from that. We got us a fruit tree, a cura fruit. There's the other yucca plant. Got all of them. I think I got them all. Alright, cool. We got a stone deposit. So there's usually, if there's one, there's usually at least two, sometimes three. There's always 3 yucca plants. Unless you can't find one, it's probably swallowed up by the terrain. Either buried in a bush or buried in the rocks. On the bigger islands with the rocks in the middle. I actually in this playthrough, I actually visited one island where there was no yucca plants reachable. They were all 3 swallowed by the rocks. Couldn't see any of them. Alright, so there's one deposit. Now, if there's another one, it most likely is another one, but it could be swallowed up by the bushes. And I could be mistaken. Maybe sometimes there is only one. Maybe it's from 1 to 3. But as many bushes as there are. Like this is a lot of bushes here. It's most likely, there most likely is a second one. It's just swallowed up by the bushes here. Yeah, I'm not seeing a second deposit. I did find in the previous episode or two, I was harvesting clay, going over, you know, the basics on clay, where to find it, how much there usually is. And usually there's like 7 nodes or 7 deposits of clay in the water. On the east side, it's always on the east side of the island. And then I did look up, before that video was over, I did look up on the fandom page. It said there's usually anywhere between 5, hey look, days survived, 185. According to the fandom page, there's usually between 5 to 7 clay deposits, or I actually found an 8th one on my last island. So it's, and I don't think I've ever found less than 6. So it's more like 6 to 8, not 5 to 7. Yeah, there probably is a second stone deposit. It's just buried in the bushes here, and I'm not going to be able to get to it. But at this point in the game, after this is my 10th island, I have completely harvested and scavenged everything I could get on the island and the wreckages around the water and the clay from 9 islands. So at this point, I really have an abundance of materials. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here and finish scavenging this island. Now is actually a good time to get in the water, though. This is the time of day when you get like full visibility. Usually around 11 o'clock is when you have full visibility underwater. Go ahead and replenish my camp supplies. I'll wait and get spears. Why am I putting this here? I'll wait and come back and get my spears if a shark pops up. I'm going to go ahead and grab my picks though. I lost all my fishing spears. I had like so many fishing. I had like a full, I had like 13 fishing spears. And I was using them to kill a shark. And then the shark got away, it got dark, and then when I went out to getting the next day, usually they'll come back with all the spears still sticking out of them. But he came back and all my spears were gone. So I do not... Oh, there's a clay node right there. And usually, and this is usually a land marker, the clay will usually start at one of the sunken ships. And then there's the second one. I noticed it's raining, so losing a little bit of the visibility. Visibility, if I didn't say that correctly. But when it's raining, the rainwater will, add water to this without, using leaves. So that's why I popped up real quick, just to get a couple of drinks. And I think I'm going to go ahead and chop me down a tree here. I'm going to use the fronds to make more water instead of my leaves. You can transport many more leaves than fronds and bunches. Like I've gone over in previous episode, if you break these into fronds, they only go in stacks of 4, which only means a full container would only be 20 fronds. If you leave them into bunches, you can stack the bunches in 4, which means you could get 20 bunches on, instead of 20 fronds, you get 20 bunches, which then turns into 100 fronds. So leaving them in the bunches is a much easier way to transport them, and larger numbers of them, because they each break into 5. So each stack would be 20 fronds and 5 in a container, so 100. But by using these to make my water, and you can even use them for firewood, because I honestly have so many of those. I've got like, I think 3, maybe even 4 containers full of bunches already on my main island. And so using those, I don't need to transport anymore. I don't need to take any more to my home island. So I'd rather use up all the fronds for water and firewood here, or maybe not even firewood, but at least the water, and save my leaves, because you can fit 24 to a stack, which means you can do, what, that 120 to a container? So you can transport a lot more leaves than you can fronds. Well, this rain is going to burn up all my daylight, so much for getting in the water. Now, you can still see pretty clearly underwater this time of day. There's another ship right there, or is that the... But you can't see, like... It's a little risky, like not being able to see under the water from above it. You might step on something poisonous. But underwater, you still got pretty decent visibility even with it raining. Got a stack of tires there. Container. Alright, so ship scavenge 24. That counter is a way to know when you've basically looted everything. Another container. Alright, I'm getting pretty upset here. I should have saved it. There. Can't get out that way. Better go back. Alright, so see how it went up to 25? So I pretty much got everything. Now, that counter didn't used to go up until you like it break the ties on that so they float up. But apparently there's been an update that's kind of changed that. I can't get out that way, actually. Aw, damn it. You gotta be careful when you're down in here, like when you can't see stuff. I'm trying to find out, though I still don't see what poisoned me. But I got plenty, I got antidotes, I'm not worried about it. And there's currently a bug right now with potions. Even the splint, when you have broken bones, you make a splint. And the potions, they're all supposed to only have one dose. So with potions, the antidote, when you drink it, did I not grab it? Come on, man. When you drink it, you should have an empty coconut flask. So you can make another potion using the same coconut flask, but it should be empty. So as you can see, my status effect poison is gone. So I drank the potion, the antidote, but notice it's not empty and still says 1 dose. Now I don't normally do exploits, glitches, mods. I don't do any of that stuff. But in a situation like this, it's like I'm not going to have a bunch of used ones all piled up. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna stress over it. I'm not gonna like be stupid about it. It is what it is. So again, I don't normally do it, but in this particular case, things don't just disappear in this game. Like, I literally do not want a pile of those piled up just because of this, not wanting to take it, not wanting to exploit that. I mean, the only way to not do it would be to like literally just, I don't have enough containers to like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it is what it is. All right. All of this is junk. So what I can do is go ahead and take all this stuff out of this container. So I've got an empty container. All this stuff is usable. So what I'm going to do is take this junk back, since I'm completely done scavenging that ship right there. And I know it's done. There's nothing else on it because the counter went up saying it's scavenged. I'm going to, those containers were not containers, but the like lockers were down here. use this locker. That's the flashlight I'm using. So I got 2 right there I don't need. That I've got 4 of already. I've got a labeler back on my island. Don't need that. All right. Now I could do that with those potions, but again, I'm not going to like be stupid about it. You know, it is what it is. It's not my fault. So I'm just going to deal with it. Go ahead and save it. And on that note, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And survive.